and welcome back to another episode of Scrappy Shorts, where everything has potential. I'm Sean with Manly Made Minute, and today we're going simple. It's going to be quick, easy card you could literally make in like 2 to 5 minutes. So again, Scrappy Shorts. So we've got to get out that scrap bucket and find yourself some backgrounds that it doesn't have to be full background, half backgrounds, whatever you can make a background out of. And we're just going to do a quick simple stamp, add a sentiment. You may need to jazz up or may want to jazz up that stamp after you get it stamped, just to kind of, give it a little something, but you don't have to. So let's head down to my down camera and I'll show you what we're going to do. All right, so scrap bucket. We've all seen my scrap bucket here. I've gone through and picked out, I've pre-made 2 cards to show you. I've pre-picked out this one that I had. I actually trimmed this one down just a little bit to 5 3/4, so I had just a more of a perfect fit because it was a little odd shaped to go off the card. So I did trim this one down, but this was out of my scrap bucket. But pull out stuff like this. You could do this and cut this piece off and use this section of this. Cut this section off and do that. Here's another full one I could trim down. These are from a while ago. That one I could trim down. I could use like something like this, but that's pretty dark for what I want to do today. There was a couple, oh yeah, like this one would be great for today. Something like this, but it's embossed, so I can't stamp over it. Today we're going to be stamping that one. It's lunar paste, but I'm going to be stamping, so I don't want to use that one. I could actually just use this one and stamp it and leave that on the edge. I mean, just to give it a little, like, weird mixed media-ish kind of feel. So let's just pull out those backgrounds, trim them to the size you want. And I'm going to use this one today, and then I'm just going to use the Altenew Fashion Monger Dahlia set. And I'm going to use this kind of larger floral to do my stamp. So let's just get this in your stamp positioner. You may need to stamp this a couple times to get a good impression. But what I want to do first, I decided before filming with this one, is jazz this up just a tiny bit to soften down those circles. So I'm going to do a little distress on this. And I have picked out 2 distress oxides, mowed lawn and abandoned coral. Then I'm going to do a little spritz with crackled campfire and tattered rose. Tattered rose gives you that nice champagne-y kind of shimmer. So I'm going to just jazz this up just a little bit. I just want to get rid of some of that white space is what I'm looking to do. And soften down the circles. You don't have to. You can just stamp over it and be done. If that's what you want, that's fine. I just wanted to change this up a little bit because I want to show you that I have this from before, never made anything out of it, but now I'm here and I can jazz it up and now I can do whatever I want with it. I'm thinking of other options down the road now that I'm doing this, right? So I'm just going to give this a little bit of spritz. And I want just a little green in there. Happy with that. I'm going to dry that up a little bit. I didn't wet it. So I'm just going right on dry. I didn't want too much bleed. I just wanted more splatter on this. All right, now I'm just going to take some Campfire Distress Spritz. I want to kind of match the colors that I have a little bit, and then I just wanted a little shimmer with that tattered rose. This one's been sitting a while, so it's kind of built up on the bottom there, so just give those a good shake. All right, so I'm just going to kind of go over right where I put that abandoned coral, and then just a little bit there, and I did a little splattery, but then it went over where I had that abandoned coral, and now I'm going to do the tattered rose over all of this, just a quick shimmer over the whole thing. Just a tiny bit, that's it. Okay, dry this up, stamp, and add a sentiment. We've got ourselves a card. So I just wanted to soften that out, just a tiny bit, okay? I could have wet this, let it bleed out, and do all kinds of stuff with it, right? But I'm going to leave it as is. Just make sure that it's good and dry, though, because you're going to stamp over that. The fun thing about your scrap bucket is if you have scraps and you have them in there because I didn't like it at the time, but I'm going to keep it down the road. Down the road, when you've got that creative energy back, right? And you're like, ooh, I'm kind of feeling it. I got some ideas flowing. then get out that scrap bucket and start digging through that scrap bucket and just see what you can play with. I could throw anything on this. I could throw some paste on here. I could throw some stencils on here to jazz this up. You know, whatever you're feeling for that vibe, if you're feeling that creativity and you're wanting to do something, your scrap bucket's always an awesome alternative to start doing something. So I'm going to take the larger floral, and I think I'm going to put my sentiment up in the corner. I'm going to move this over because I want to get this to come off my paper just a little bit, just a little. Fill this corner, sentiment up there is kind of what I'm thinking, okay? Pick that up, and I'm just going to use Archival Jet Black. I'm just going to black, simple stamp. I'm not going to emboss it. I'm not going to do anything. You could do whatever you want. If you want to emboss this, if you want to gold emboss it and leave it, gold embossing over this would look great. Silver embossing would look great. Even just a orange or green embossed floral on this would look fantastic. I'm just going black. I'm going to do one more. It's relatively crisp, but I'm just going to brighten it just a tiny bit. Now you can see I could take colored pencils, watercolor, anything, and jazz this up just a little bit more if I wanted to. Colored pencils would look great. Just kind of doing some light, quick shading in spots would look fantastic. All right, so there is that. I'm just going to wipe my stamping tool down. I'm going to take off my stamp and we're going to do a sentiment. I'm going to use a sentiment from this stamp set. This has great positive sentiments in it. And that's what attracted me to this set, was just the sentiments alone. And I'm going to do my sentiment right up here in the corner. And there's one of a kind. I'm here for you. I'm here. You're not alone. Thank you for being you. I think I'm going to do, will one of a kind fit in there? It will, but it leaves me too much space down here. So I think I'm going to do, let's see, a little hello. A little hello. Just a little simple right down in that corner. My head's going to get in the way for just momentarily so I can get that in there and get that straight. Just bump that a tiny bit. Again, sentiment. You could just stamp the sentiment. You could do a die cut sentiment over the top. You could emboss the sentiment on here. Whatever you want. That's the fun part about these scraps, is they are sitting there with no intention in the first place, and now you have intention and do whatever you want with it. So a little hello on this one. Am I going to get a one and done? Let's see how this stamps. Ooh, I got a one and done. I love my one and dones. That's it. That is it. Simple floral. I love how some of these spots are sitting over the flowers where it's almost like that's supposed to be the color of the flower. Okay, so now let's just glue this on a card base, put this on a card, and I will show you on the card. I'm going to probably take, did I do it already? I don't think I did. Yeah, I'm going to take the inside of this card and bring this floral to the inside to carry this whole kind of color and theme in, just to put a little something on the inside. And I'll do that before I put this on the card front, okay? So I'm going to lay that with my weight to dry. Let's bring over my card front, and I just want to carry this floral to the inside, okay? So I'm going to go over into this corner, like so. Pick it up. And I'm probably going to be off slightly, but that's okay. We'll just make sure that it stamps in that corner, which it's going to. And I'm going to use some pinkish kind of that I have from that front. So I'm just pulling my Sparkling Berry from Catherine Pooler ink, and I'm just going to do a little pink in the corner here, just to carry that over onto the inside. Just like so. I like to throw something in, not always. I'm probably about 50-50, but when I feel the card needs it, I like to throw a little something on the inside, but I always try to keep it light enough that they can still just write right over it. And I got some black there, but that's okay. I'll throw a little piece of designer series paper on that here when we're done. All right, let's just take and throw this on the card front. I got a little black from, I didn't wipe the top of that off, but I'll just cover it with some scraps. Put a little strip on the inside, and nobody will be none the wiser. And I'll just get that centered as best I can. All right, that's your card. That's it. Simple. Scrap background, literally a scrap background. Splattered it to jazz it up just a tiny bit, stamped my stamp on there, put a little sentiment, and you got a beautiful little note card. I did 2 other ones just to show you. This was a scrap. This was the size of the scrap. So I just took a black mat, cut it to size to go around this piece, and then I had a chunk of pink, cut it to the width. It was already this long, so I just cut it to the width. So I just had pink on this side, but then I had too much white. So I took a piece of designer series paper, didn't have one that I liked, so I cut a piece off of this mint julep out of that book, and that's from Michaels, and just added a little strip or flag down the center behind it, and there you have it. So let's just show you these. Here's your 3 cards. That is it. Simple and easy, and literally no-brainer. No-brainer on these. So let's give you a front view, because this camera just focuses and shows that color really nice. So there's the one we just, I had pre-made. Here's one of those ones that I pre-made. And then here's the one we just made. I actually like this one better. I didn't know if I was going to like it with the polka dots, but I actually like this one better. So simple. Get out those scraps. Get out some background scraps that you have that you didn't like before, and you just threw them in your scrap bucket, or you used half of it and you threw the other half in your scrap bucket. Now's the time to use it. Get a simple stamp and do some black and white. Do some black over color. Make it no-brainer. We're all kind of like floating by right now after holiday. So just do something to kind of get some joy going and get off of Christmas if you want. So thank you so much, everyone, for hanging with me. Appreciate you all. If you have not, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and would love to have you follow me on YouTube. You can find me at Manly Made Minute on Instagram and follow me there. I do post quite a bit for card hops and all my pictures there, so go ahead and find me there. Thanks for hanging with me, and until next time, I'll see you then.